Aries. December is all about rolling with the punches and being adaptable and flexible. Things in your immediate vicinity, in your love life, and at work are undergoing some changes and some shifts. But change is not always a bad thing. I think that things are shifting for you this month so that you can go in a better direction. But either way, you're gonna have some important decision making to do. Wanna know more? Keep watching and I'll explain all about it. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Mel of Divine Feminine Works, and I am here to help you uncover your divinity and discover your magic. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. This channel is everything tarot, astrology, spirituality, and manifestation. So if those are the things you like, if those are the things you love, if those are the things you want to learn more about, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, as well as that notification bell, so you'll always be notified when I come out with new content. And speaking of content, head over to Instagram and follow me over there at Divine Feminine Works. Every day I've got a ton of tarot, manifestation, astrology content that will really help you out. So follow me over there so you don't miss out on any of that good stuff. All right, so this is going to be the Astro Forecast and Taroscope for the month of December 2021. I don't know about you, but I'm still kind of blown that it is December of 2021. I felt like 2021 sounded so futuristic, it sounds so far away, and now we are at the tail end of it. And can't say I'm mad about that. I mean, I'm ready to move on, hopefully to bigger and better things. And I believe that 2022 is going to give us just that. But before I get ahead of myself, it's time to talk about the here and now. And as always, you know the deal. We start with the astrology. So the theme of this month, if we had to sum up December in one sort of short, concise sentence, it would be when one door closes, another opens. That's sort of how this month is playing out. Because we begin the month right in the thick of eclipse season. So 2 weeks ago, we had a full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Taurus. And then right at the beginning of December, we have a new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Sagittarius. So eclipses are the universe's way of sort of cleaning things up in our lives and in society in general. So eclipses either take things out of our lives or put things in. It's the universe's way of setting order. And so when we have this kind of energy, it's sort of like you not only have to roll with the punches, but you have to be open to receiving and letting go of what you want on the one hand and what no longer serves you on the other. And that's pretty much how this month is going to go. Again, the highlight of this month is the new moon solar eclipse. But another way to think about this month, or another way to look at this month, is that there's a lot of movement this month, a lot of energy shifts. So we have 4 planets that are actually changing signs. We've got 2 planets that are changing directions, and we have an eclipse. So if you find that at the end of the month, if you're sort of assessing how December was for you, and you feel like December sort of had you feeling unsettled, a little bit unstable, that's because things are shifting and moving around. And that energy actually started last month in November with the eclipse, okay? So it's, like I said before, it's really about rolling with the punches and sort of letting things, let the chips fly, let things sort of move as they need to, and then sort of assess and get a lay of the land, all right? So let's go through the month chronologically and see what we've got. So we open up the month with the planet Neptune going direct in its home sign of Pisces. So Neptune was retrograde from June 25th of this year, and now it is turning direct. And we all know that when a planet goes retrograde, it's like you sort of take the energy and the characteristics of that planet and you direct it inward. So instead of things being directed outward in your life, you're taking a hard look at yourself, you're reflecting, you're remembering, you're doing all of that with respect to that particular planet's energy. So Neptune is all about fantasy. It's all about illusion. It's about love. It's about dreams, those kind of things. And so when Neptune went retrograde back in June, all of that stuff kind of went out the window. Neptune retrograde allows you to see the realness, the harshness, and the ugliness of life. And trust and believe, I think we can all agree that we've really been seeing that. Definitely over the last couple of years, but specifically as Neptune has been retrograde, we've been seeing things for what they really are. The rose-colored glasses come off and we see life as it is. But now that Neptune is going direct, now we're going to be able to take what we've learned while Neptune was retrograde and apply that to life and be optimistic. Regardless of what we've seen, the harshness and ugliness of life, I feel like now we're able to move forward and we can dream again. We can have high hopes. We can be optimistic despite the reality of, life. But you sort of take that, it's like you take the things that you've learned while Neptune was retrograde and you apply it to, your life going forward, but you're more optimistic, you're more hopeful. All right. So that's really how Neptune direct is going to affect us. And it all depends on where that falls in your chart. Neptune is in its home sign of Pisces. So its energy is extra potent. It's great for creative endeavors. It's great for us to recognize and appreciate humanity on a collective level. It's about being selfless, compassionate, empathic. So all of these things are going to we're going to be able to feel those things again. Okay. So that's how we start out the month. And then the star of the month is, like I said, the new moon solar eclipse happening in the sign of Sagittarius, and that's going down on Saturday, December 4th. So new moons are all about new beginnings, and a new moon solar eclipse is a new beginning in a very big way. It's like a new moon on steroids. This particular solar eclipse, I should say, really is about like an ending and a beginning wrapped up in one. That's kind of why I said the theme for this month is when one door closes, another opens. On the one hand, not only is this the final eclipse in the Gemini Sagittarius cycle that we've kind of been going through for the last 18 months or so, it's also happening at the 12th degree. And the 12th degree is the Pisces degree. And as we know, Pisces is the final sign in the zodiac. So there's a certain element of finality with this particular eclipse. So like I said, something is going to end and something is going to begin sort of simultaneously. Although you're not going to feel it right in the moment. It's not like Saturday is going to get here and you're going to be like, okay, something ends, something begins, I'm done. This energy is fluid and it's definitely playing out over the next couple of months. So be prepared for things to sort of shift within that time frame. This new moon solar eclipse allows us to have a clean slate and a fresh start, and it eclipses things into our lives. So I don't know about you, but at the time of the full moon lunar eclipse last month, I experienced a lot of endings. People that I was close to, someone that I was very close to passed away. Things were very jarring, things were sort of being eclipsed out. Now at this new moon solar eclipse, you may notice that things are being eclipsed in, things are being added to your life. People may be coming in. You may be going to a new place, experiencing new things, especially being in the sign of Sagittarius. Sagittarius likes to live large and in charge. It's all about adventure, broadening your horizons. So it's going to be this very expansive new beginning. There's also going to be an element of limitation and unexpected happenings with this new moon solar eclipse because we've got Uranus and Saturn in the mix. And I'm going to do a separate video on these eclipses generally and go more into the astrology of each particular eclipse. But just know that things may be a little difficult. Things, Saturn is an energy of limitation, of obstacles. It's also of endings also, and karma. So you may find that things are finally wrapping up in a particular area of your life, only for a new door to open and a new adventure, to embark upon. So that's sort of how this eclipse is playing out. All right. So moving right along, we have Mercury entering into Capricorn on December 13th. And Mercury in Capricorn is very serious. Our thoughts, our communications become serious, practical, down to earth. We become more focused and think more about work, being disciplined, perhaps overcoming obstacles. A lot of what we talk to people about and a lot of what we think about centers around work. It centers around serious matters. So that's how Mercury in Capricorn is going to play out. And again, that's going down on December 13th. That same day, December 13th, Mars is going to be moving into the sign of Sagittarius. Mars being a fire sign and moving into a fire sign makes Mars sort of extra happy. And this is really about, we become motivated by our desire to act according to our ideals and beliefs. Sagittarius, apart from just, ruling long distance travel, higher education, Sagittarius is all about expanding our minds, and it's also about faith, belief, and spirituality. And so now Mars being a very action-oriented planet, a planet that is concerned with initiation, we're going to want to move according to what we believe in and what we have faith in, and being very strong and convicted in those beliefs. Additionally, we'll want to start new adventures, blaze new trails, start new projects, initiate a whole bunch of things on a very grand scale, right? The only thing you'll have to keep in mind is that Mars in Sagittarius is like great for starting things, but not necessarily finishing. So you may have all of these projects that you start. You may have multiple projects, or you may have one big project. It's going to be very important for you to keep your level of motivation high, because in the beginning, you're going to be really fired up. You're going to be like, yes, I want to do this. Let's do it. Let's go for it. And then shortly thereafter, you're going to be like, whatever, or it goes by the wayside or anything like that. So that's definitely going to be something that you're going to be mindful of when Mars enters Sagittarius. All right, so moving right along, we have the full moon in Gemini going down on December 18th. And obviously, if you've watched any of my videos before, you already know that full moons illuminate. Full moons are either the culmination of a manifestation or they illuminate something that's been hidden. Gemini rules communication, it rules siblings, it rules extended family members, short distance travel, business, sort of your everyday busy body kind of energy is what Gemini is. And so with this, you're going to find that you'll probably either be really busy around this full moon, your communication with people is going to ramp up, you may be taking short distance trips, maybe you planned a short distance trip sometime prior and now you're finally going on it. You may find that something that you thought about back at the new moon in Gemini back in June now is coming to fruition. You may find that just your general environment is just busy. That's sort of how this full moon is going to play out. And again, that is on December 18th. Moving right along, the next day on December 19th, we have Venus going retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. So Venus in Capricorn is very serious as well. Just like I spoke about Mercury in Capricorn being serious, Venus is the same thing, but its energy is more focused on relationships, money, things that we value, aesthetics, beauty, comfort, luxury. All of those things become very serious, very tangible, and very down to earth. Venus in Capricorn is the energy that's going to get you to save money to buy a big ticket item. It's going to have you make a plan of action to redo your house, have a relationship. It's very practical, diligent, and down to earth. That's when Venus is direct in Capricorn. So now when Venus is retrograde in Capricorn, we take that energy and we direct it inward. So this really becomes what are the things that I value in my life? What is important to me? What are the criteria that I need to be in a relationship? Everything that Venus is about, we direct that inward. And being in Capricorn, we take a very practical, down-to-earth focus to it. Even creativity becomes very much more practical. How do I do things? How do I make money from what I create? What values are important to me in relationships with respect to assets? What's fair in my life? Am I being fair to myself? So that Venusian energy, everything Venus is going to be directed inward when Venus goes retrograde. And again, that's on December 19th. Moving right along, on December 21st, Capricorn season officially begins when the sun moves into Capricorn. So there's a lot of Capricorn energy this month. So if you feel like December is really sort of heavy, it's sort of not very exciting. I mean, the holidays are around, so there's that certain element to that. But maybe you think about the holidays in terms of how much money am I spending? How much overtime do I have to work in order to buy people presents? Those are the sort of Capricorn like thoughts that are characteristic of the sun in Capricorn. We become very disciplined. Work becomes a real thing. We focus on getting things done in a practical, down-to-earth sort of way. Our status in life becomes something that we become concerned about. Business, all of those sort of mundane, practical things are what are characteristic of Capricorn season. And again, that begins on December 21st when the sun moves into Capricorn. And then finally, we close out the month with Jupiter heading into its home sign of Pisces. Jupiter in Pisces is like love, an overdose of love. Jupiter is all about expansion and growth, right? And so Jupiter in Pisces is really about expanding our awareness of spirituality, compassion, and love, but love on a grander scale. It's not like how you love your parent, how you love your child, how you love your spouse or your significant other. It's how you love humanity. Your love grows and your love expands, right? You start to, Pisces is a very intuitive sign. It's a very sensitive sign and an empathic sign. So whenever there is a planet in Pisces, particularly Jupiter, we feel other people's emotions. We feel sensitive, compassionate, and empathic towards other people in a very big way, which is great because that helps us understand people and just spread love, right? But the thing with Pisces is that it can be a lot and it can be overwhelming. And so in feeling everything on a grand scale, you really may have the tendency to lose yourself. You start taking on other people's emotions, taking on other people's shit, and you get lost in the sauce essentially. And with Pisces, the symbol for Pisces being fish, you're sort of literally lost in the sauce, right? So with Jupiter in Pisces, what's going to be really important is for you to feel everything, right? But also take the time and extra room to feel for yourself. So you're going to have to close off to the world at times, rest, recharge, and get back to yourself, because there's going to be a tendency to lose yourself. There's going to be a tendency to really, like I said, get lost in the sauce. So that is December in a nutshell. If you want to know more about what December has to offer, you can either check out the horoscopes, which are on my website, link in the description box below, or you can get a personal horoscope that is designed specifically for you. Whether it's 1 month, 3 months, or 6 months, you can figure out what December or any other month for that matter is going to look specifically for you. And if you want to order that link is in the description box as well. All right, Aries. So for you, December is all about being adaptable and flexible. Just like your other cardinal sign counterparts, that would include Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, you guys have an emphasis on your cadent houses this month. So what are your cadent houses? In the astrological wheel, the cadent houses are the 3rd, the 6th, the 9th, and the 12th houses. These houses are the houses of change. Change that will lead you to think differently so that you can go in a new direction or be innovative. And so what typically happens when you have an emphasis on the cadent houses is that things break down or they change or they shift. That's why you have to be adaptable and flexible, because things aren't stable in the cadent houses. But in breaking down and in shifting, you can then start to think about things differently. If you think about, the best way to think about cadent houses is this, okay? You know how when someone invents something, right? It's typically the solution to a problem. So perhaps there's a problem that arises, and the fact that this problem arises is sort of the essence of the cadent house. And it gets you to open your mind and think about things differently so that you can find a solution. And that's pretty much how things are going down for you in December, okay? Change can often be obviously unsettling. It can be a little scary. It can be uncomfortable, but ultimately it gets you to think differently so you can act differently. All right, Aries. So for you, during Sagittarius season, it is your 9th house, which is lit, okay? So during Sagittarius season, you have the sun, you have the new moon solar eclipse, you have Mercury, and you have Mars that are going to transit into your 9th house, okay? And so particularly with the new moon solar eclipse, the way that you think about things generally, and it could be things like religion, spirituality, The ninth house covers higher education. So it could be higher education, or it could just be broad topics such as philosophy, religion, law. It could be a legal situation. It could be something that's happening in a place that is far from you, because the ninth house also covers long distance travel and things that are foreign. So whatever change is going on during Sagittarius season is ultimately to make you open your mind and see things from a different perspective. And that's exactly what's going to happen with the new moon solar eclipse. So during that time, you may find that you are being inundated with things that are, you may find that, for instance, you may be bombarded with things about injustice, particularly with people who are different than you. Theories of philosophy, theories of spirituality. You may be bombarded with these things in an effort to get you to think differently and open your mind, okay? So if you find that you've got a lot of mental activity and a lot of just new and unusual things going on during Sagittarius season, particularly during the new moon solar eclipse, that would be why, okay? And then thereafter, once the sun shifts into Capricorn and we enter Capricorn season, your 10th house of career and public life are going to be lit. And so in this house, we're going to have the sun, we have Venus retrograde, we've got Mercury, and we have Pluto that's been chilling in your 10th house for a while. So needless to say, your career and your public life have been undergoing a transformation for quite some time. And all of that transformation is going to be lit and energized once the sun enters into your 10th house, which is again, when the sun moves into Capricorn. So at that time, it's really going to be about taking action in your career. Like I said, you have an emphasis on the cadent houses, which is the 3rd, the 6th, the 9th, and the 12th houses. But with the sun going into Capricorn, that's going to highlight your 10th house, which is an angular house. And the angular houses, which is the 1st house, the 4th house, the 7th house, and the 10th house, those are all about taking action and initiating things and starting new things. So you may find that during Capricorn season, you start taking action in your career and public life. Maybe you have a new job. Maybe you do something different with the job that you currently have. Maybe you open your own business. 10th house energy in this way is very good for you because as an Aries, you have a lot of energy at your disposal, particularly when it comes to starting new things. So you're kind of going to want to be yourself when the sun moves into Capricorn and start new things and be enterprising, okay? Thereafter, you're going to have an emphasis on your 12th house because we have Neptune going direct in Pisces and we also have Jupiter entering Pisces. Now, the 12th house covers the unknown. It covers spirituality, karma. It also covers self-confinement, so hospitals, prisons, things of that nature. But it's also a time of winding down, resting, and recharging. But when you have Jupiter and you have Neptune direct in the 12th house, it's all about dreams, illusions too, but it's all about like fantasy and dreams. So you're going to want to spend some time throughout the month sort of dreaming. You're going to want to sort of power down and just dream. That may mean getting more sleep. It may mean daydreaming more, but you're going to have this very idyllic, romantic, sort of over-the-top energy when it comes to your dreams. So you may find that your dreams may be even more vivid now with these two planets in your 12th house. But regardless, the best way to use that energy is to be creative and to think big. That's basically what there is to that. All right. And then finally, you're going to have a 3rd house emphasis with the full moon in Gemini on December 18th. Full moons illuminate. They either shed light on what's been hidden or they mark the culmination of a previous intention, right? So I want you to think back to June of this year during the Gemini new moon. And at that time, you may have had some intentions centered around learning a new skill, something having to do with your siblings, your neighborhood, or your community. And you may find that the full moon, that project or that endeavor is finally finished. It's come to fruition. For others of you, there may be something that's uncovered something may be uncovered in your neighborhood, in your community, regarding a sibling or an extended family member. But regardless, a full moon in the 3rd house tends to be a very busy time. So you may find that around the full moon, you're just busy communicating with people, transacting business, taking short distance trips, all of those things. And again, it's that cadent house energy that's going to get you to move and it's going to ask you to be adaptable so that you can start thinking of things in a different way. All right. So again, the keyword for you for December is flexibility. Regardless of whatever changes come up, they're just meant to get you in a different direction and start a whole new cycle of creating something new. All right. All right, Aries. So now that we've gotten the astrology out of the way, let's get into the tarot and see what messages Spirit has for you this month. All right, Aries. So you know the deal. We have 3 messages, 1 general, 1 love, and 1 career. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's start with the general message. All right. So what do we have for Aries for December 2021? Aries. Okay. I'm going to take this one. Fork in the road. All right, so this denotes having to make a decision to determine which direction you'd like to go in. You're at an impasse, right? And remember that I said in the astrology portion that you guys have a lot of energy in your cadent houses this month, which means that you're going to experience changes that are going to make you think in a new way or go in a new direction. So that's exactly what this card signifies. You've reached an impasse, or something has happened where you have to take a decision and go in one direction or the other. All right, let's see what this is about. Okay. We've got the 3 of Cups. This denotes like community. So this could be with friends. This could be, given the fact that you have emphasis on your 9th, 10th, 12th, and 3rd houses, particularly with the 3rd house. There's something about your friendships, or maybe something with a sibling, or just people in your neighborhood that's going to come to light at the full moon in Gemini on December 18th or thereabout. And I feel like whatever information comes up is going to make you have to decide something or go in a new direction. I'm like tongue-tied today. Go in a new direction, okay? So something about your community, people that you associate with, people that you may talk to on a daily basis, neighbors, siblings, something of that nature regarding that or concerning that, you're going to have a decision that needs to be made, okay? What else do we have on this general message? Okay. All right, we've got family room. This denotes someone that is close to you. So this really could be a sibling. Family room also denotes, like, in terms of time, it talks about something happening very soon. So I feel like, well, obviously, December 18th is literally right around the corner. So it kind of makes sense that you may have to make a decision, definitely before the month is over. But it's about something that's close to you, perhaps something that's personal. You may have someone that is in your immediate vicinity that's very close to you. This person might know you on a very personal level. They might know your business, but there's something about your immediate vicinity, whether it's, you know, your neighborhood or your community. There's going to be some sort of shift. There's going to be some sort of change that's going to make you have to decide something or go in a new direction or make a decision. Okay. So this month is all about decision making for you. All right, let's move on to the love message. In terms of love, what do we have for Aries? All right, we've got sparks. Okay, interesting. So I'm getting 2 things. There's going to be like a fire that's lit under someone's ass. Like the picture I'm being shown right now is like one of those sparklers, like, and you put that under someone's ass, like it makes them uncomfortable and it gets them to move, right? Again, that adaptable energy, that energy of change with the emphasis on your cadent houses, right? Sparks will fly. This could also denote some type of argument, some sort of discussion that may get a bit heated and sparks fly, all right? Let's see what else we have here for this love message. Oh, that's too many. Okay, there we go. All right. Whatever happens, I get the sense that either you or whoever you're dealing with, there's a certain amount of confusion. There could be someone may have a lot of options when it comes to love. So sparks may be flying because you find that you're emotionally erratic or you're juggling multiple partners. Whatever it is, let's say that you've been dating someone for a while or you're even in a committed relationship. Or even if you're single, like I get the sense that you've had that status for a little while. right? And now something is going to come to disrupt that. That's why sparks are going to fly. And you're either going to find out that, you either start dating a lot of people, you either have an affair or your partner does, or there's just this energy of emotional upheaval, like your emotions are sort of all over the place. You're not so sure about your relationship or your status as it pertains to a relationship. So things are definitely shifting. And again, it's requiring you to be adaptable and flexible. All right, let's get one last card here for this romance and love message. Thank you. All right, we've got mature woman. And the first thing I heard was being the bigger person. This could be an actual woman or someone who identifies as a woman. This could also be indicative of feminine energy. And feminine energy is very receptive. So it's about being receptive to this change. It's about sort of rolling with the punches in terms of whatever is going on in your love life and being mature about it. For some, that may require you to get very, it may require you to make sense of your emotions. It may require you to put some of those options down and focus on only one thing. But I get the sense that for some of you, you're going to be experiencing, whatever you experience is going to allow you to mature emotionally. But it comes at the cost of some sort of disruption first, okay? So what we have so far is that this month is about making decisions for you. I feel like someone close to you, someone in your vicinity is really like something's going to happen. Something's going to be highlighted and it's going to force you to make a decision. For some of you, it could be making a decision about your love life. So it could be the fact that maybe you're dating a whole bunch of people and maybe you've just been living your best life and not really committing to anyone. And now December is going to have to show you, like, perhaps one of your many conquests or one of your many suitors or whatever you want to call them starts acting up or starts pressuring you for a commitment. And now you're sort of at this impasse where you have to make a decision. Do you want to keep all these options or do you want to sort of settle down and do like the mature thing and commit to one person? But either way, I see you making a significant decision in December. All right. So now let's move on to career and see what we have. Oh, okay. All right, so we've got the child. So the child can denote an actual, like, physical child, but it also denotes something new, all right? So something new is going on, particularly when it comes to your money. You may have given birth to something new, a new endeavor, a new business. Maybe you have a new job, but it's all about newness, all right? So let's get another card on here and see what we have. All right, we've got two, but I'm going to take them. The first card is Page of Swords. This is also giving me very young energy, very new energy, something new. Perhaps you're researching something new. Yeah, I get the sense that something in your career or money is being shaken up right now, and you're doing research to find a new path, a new income stream, a new job. Yep. We also have the Ace of Wands. So you are in the research and development phase right now. You could literally be in the research and development phase as it pertains to your own business. Perhaps the work that you're doing right now is research and development, but you're doing a lot of research in order to create something new. So there may be some instability that happens this month that gets you to think differently to create something new in terms of career or money. All right. Let's get one last card to close out this reading. This is career and money. All right. We've got mature man. Interesting. So we've got mature woman and mature man here. So on a side note, as it pertains to relationships, I feel like whoever you're with is going to meet you where you're at. So if you're leveling up emotionally and you're becoming more emotionally mature, your partner or your counterpart is going to be doing the same thing, or you're going to attract someone who's at that same level. Okay. For others of you, there's something going on with career or money involving a mature man. I'm hearing inheritance for someone. So perhaps the change that happens is, unfortunately, someone passes away and leaves you some kind of inheritance. or it causes a void where, money is concerned. This could also be a boss or a superior that changes things up at work as it pertains to you. And now you've got to think of a new way to make money to still cover your bills. Maybe something has shifted at work and you're just like, man, fuck it, I'm just going to open my own business. But whatever it is, ride the wave of change, because it's going to get you to think differently and create something that is absolutely fire. Like, I can't stress that enough. Whatever you're creating with respect to career or money is going to be fire. It's going to be so hot. It's going to be so great. And it's really going to put you in a new direction that I don't think you necessarily anticipated before, but it may be even better than where you currently are. So change is good. Change is very good, because sometimes people have this negative connotation of change that it denotes something worse. Like you're going into a less desirable state. And that's not true. Oftentimes, change takes you to either where you want to be, where you need to be, or even better than where you were. And Aries, this month, I think that is sort of the mindset that you need to have, because things are shifting in your immediate vicinity, in your relationship, love life, and in your career. And you just need to ride the wave and keep your mind open and receptive, so that you can make decisions that ultimately put you in a better position than you were before. All right, my loves, that has been the Astro Forecast and Taroscope for the month of December 2021. I sincerely hope and affirm that you were able to get at least one important message from this reading. Speaking of readings, if you'd like to book a personal tarot reading with me or order a personalized astrology report, those links are in the description box below, so don't forget to check those out. And while you're checking things out, don't forget to hit up my website, sign up for my newsletter. I give a whole bunch of free content on a regular basis, so sign up everywhere you can so you never miss out. All right, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.